Hi, this is Katie with craftingwithkatie.com, and today I'm a guest designer on Everyday Cricut, and I want to share with you a project I'm making. It's a Thanksgiving wall hanging. The base of it is actually going to be this 8.5 by 11 piece of chipboard. And what I've done so far that I wanted to show you how to do this is I printed one of these Subway arts from the word collage Cricut cartridge, and I used my Imagine to print it on some pattern paper. Now this pattern paper is something that was in my stash. It's not actually printed with the Imagine, but you could go that way as well. So I just want to go ahead and get on the Imagine and show you how to do this. Alright, so I'm here on my Imagine machine and I have my word collage cartridge loaded in here. I don't have any Imagine cartridges. And this is what you see when you come up. It's a little difficult to read, so it's helpful to have your handbook nearby. But I know that's the haunted house. It's just to the right of it is the Thanksgiving one I want. So I'm going to click on that. So now that I've selected it, I can click on it and then I'll be able to change the size and the color. Okay, so now on this screen, you're going to change the size. And for my wall hanging, I decided I want it to be 8 inches tall. So we're set there. Now the other thing I wanted to share here is I could just choose a color from down here, but I found online an RGB code for Paper Tray Inks Dark Chocolate, and that's the color that I'm going to be using elsewhere on my project, so I thought it would be nice to match it. So if you slide your colors over till you get to this little rainbow with an arrow and click on that, you can change to anything that you want. So the code that I found, the red value is 96. So I'm going to have to change this, get it all the way down to 96. Oops. And the green is 57. Oops. All right. And the blue is 24. There it is. So you can see this is the one with the white square around it is the one I just changed. So I'm going to hit apply. And now you can see it's a little difficult to see now, but it's still all there just because this is so small. So if I hit apply again, I can see how it looks on the mat. Oops, actually I have to hit next to see how it looks on the mat. Alright, now the next thing that I'm going to do is change my paper size because I want to see how this will look on the chipboard size, which was 8.5 by 11. So I'm going to change the width here to 8.5 and change the height to 11. And you'll notice with this word art or word collage cartridge that sometimes it takes a while to process, I think just because it's a really big file with all of these little words in it. So as you can see right now, your Imagine is going to automatically print everything in the top left, and that's not what I want. So to do that, we're just going to trick the Imagine. So I'm going to click back and click right in front, there we go, of my word art. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert some squares that I'm not going to give any color to, and since I'm printing only, all they're going to do is space things out for me. So if I go to this middle icon, it takes you to your built-in Imagine cuts, and I'm just going to choose the rounded square, and I'm going to change this to 0.8 inches. And I kind of played around with this earlier to see what would kind of center it lengthwise, and that's what worked. So I'm going to apply it, but I want a bunch of them because it's only made 0.8 inches wide. I want enough of them so it's going to fill up the whole row and bring my word art down a little bit. So I'm just going to keep adding a bunch of these. Okay, that's 7. We'll see how that works. Okay, do you see them right here? So remember, they're not going to print, but what they've done is push my word art down for me. But now you'll notice it's still lined up at the left. So it looks like I need one more. But you know, if I do another 0.8-inch one, I think it's really going to move it over. So I'm going to add something smaller. Maybe this is the smallest I can make it. So I'm going to add one more here. But I'm going to take that one and edit it. And I'm going to shrink it down. Let's see, 0.2 inches is the farthest, the smallest it gets. So I'll apply that. Hit next and see how that looks. Oh, it's way up on top. But you know what I could do? I could just change, rather than going and getting another square, there I go, I just changed the width. We'll see if this still fits. It did, and look at that. It's got a nice little margin on the side, and it's not, if it really was 8.5 inches, it wouldn't be completely centered, but that's okay for me because I'm not actually going to use the 8.5 piece of background paper. I'm going to put some strips of another color down the sides. So this is exactly how I want it. Now the last thing you want to do is go to your settings and make sure you're on print only, which I am. So you can see you have your choices here. But for this, I just want to print. And we apply, and then go ahead and print. Okay, so this is what the finished wall hanging looks like. What I have here is the paper that I printed on my Imagine. You can see it's nicely centered. I just trimmed it down. Came in from this side and made it 8 inches, and I went up from the bottom to make it 11 inches. This is just an 8.5 by 11 piece of orange cardstock. And then I made a tree using my Paper Doll Dress Up cartridge, cut that at 8 inches, and just used half of it. And then all the little leaves are from Art Philosophy, and they're cut at 1 inch. So if you want any more details and more pics to look at, stop by Everyday Cricut. I'm guest designing there today, and so the post is dated November 14th, 2011. And also be sure to stop by my blog, craftingwithkatie.com.